Pissed me off because he sat at a podium and was like, like it happened, we apologized, and like, so my punishment is this is how people will label me. Like, he almost doesn't seem as if he cares.
Society has a very twisted thought process that sex equals control when it comes to relationships.
Well, that's because for the most part, sex does equal control. That's why if we're being honest, all right, and I'm not judging nobody. If we're being honest, that's part of the reason why you need to be careful who you know. I'm up to it. I'm up to it.
Are we going there? We live.
That's the show, Dada.
This is what we do, baby. We are not up. What is going on? Hold up. How does that happen? That's not right. There we go.
We're all the way live
Until we on.
There
right?
we go.
Oh man.
I think we're on.
I think we're on.
Oh man.
Okay. Well, we're gonna
right.
rock with it as is.
Yeah. We up to it.
We live, baby. We live, direct. We up to it. We here, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Good people.
Assuming we can still call you that. Welcome back one more time to another Friday night, first Friday in February. Welcome to your Friday Night Delights. Welcome to the most organic conversation on the internet. Welcome to Up to It, Down to It. Let's get it, man. Let's have a good time. Let's have some fun. Fellas, how y'all doing this evening, man? What's good?
Everything's everything.
Feeling fantastic, man. Feeling fantastic.
That's what I
good,
love to
feeling
hear.
great.
Yes.
That's what I love to hear, man. Look, let's get right into it. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. Welcome to all the people that's joining us already, man. Welcome. We're going to talk to y'all in the comments pretty soon. But like I said, man, let's get to it. Let's get to some of these intros. Talk about what we're drinking on tonight, man. Kev, take it away, my brother. What's good?
All right, y'all already know what it is. Glad to be with you all. We got an Old Faithful for the mixed drink, and it's Captain. Listen, if you know me, you know I'm rum and coke all day, every day. So that's going to do it for me. But I do want to put y'all on to something. The college days are like far and gone. And so, if you still drinking shots of Fireball, I'm going to call you a little wild. However, if you're looking for the alternative, I got something for you. Y'all know that's why I do Ensign over Crown at this point. But this is called Catch Fire. It almost feels like the, Rite Aid great value brand of Fireball. However, just like with Ensign in comparison to Crown, Catch Fire is all of the same ingredients, that's that great cinnamon flavor with a little bit of kick to it. But it's cleaner. It's just much cleaner. So it's gonna be shots of Fireball shots of Catch Fire for the evening. And I came across this with an idea to do brunch. So we were mixing Catch Fire with the I can't even think of what it's called. It's a liqueur for Cinnamon Toast Crunch shots. So it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, some cream-based liqueur, which was also off-brand but on par for great flavor. So we're gonna find y'all the deals. This Catch Fire and Captain, let's get it tonight. Salute.
Yeah, there we go. It's just slow. It's just slow with it. It's
I'll
slow
have a
with
sip
it.
of
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I gotta wait a 5-second delay between that button. Okay. But no, good stuff. And was it rum chata?
It's rum chata, but it's a different maker of the. It's like horde something.
Did you say whore? Whore what?
Yeah,
What is
it
it?
had
Horse.
it had hordes
Horse.
somewhere. So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
that's not okay.
not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Don't get me excited. Don't
I was
threaten me
just
with a good
asking.
time.
I was just asking.
No, all good stuff, man. I like the cinnamon toast crunch. That's all I want to say about that. LB,
What's going on, man? Hey,
up,
what's
bro?
going on, good people? King Rich. I was gonna say it is the building. In the building, baby. I hope everybody's doing fine, like one. It's February, so happy Black History Month. Also, it's February. Love is in the air. So I'm gonna hit you with this. Some might like it, some might not. So listen, this one is about love. Love is a choice, not an emotion. Love is an action, not a feeling. Love is deliberate, not passive. Love is not something that happens to you. Love is something you do. So keep that in mind as we go about this February month. Just throughout the year, man. Love each other, man. Make the choice. And let's have a good time here. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have some fun. It's about to get wild.
It's about to get wild. I
Man,
love it. What was the camera shake about? And now I'm not up. What's going on?
That's what I'm mad about. The
Okay,
whole
there we
stuff.
go.
It was an earthquake.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, man.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, we got some good information. We got some good inspiration. We got some good drinks going. I think I'm ready to dive in, man. What y'all think? Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it.
do it. Let's do
I'm
it.
up to it.
This is
Up
the dad
to it.
part for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens.
And shout out to all the dads out here for real, making it do what it do. We're gonna shout the fellas out a little bit. I think the fellas gonna get it
Every day.
That's right. That's right. Give it up for the fellas. Man folk in here.
You.
All right, cool, man. Hey, look, so first things first, as we go into this first shot, let's go ahead and pour up real quick. Before we get started, where I want to start is in the sports world. You know, we still men, we still football fans, still basketball fans. We're gonna get to basketball in a second for you, Kev. I got something that I know you're gonna have something to talk about. Hey man, coming right out of championship weekend, man, the NFL, this past weekend, I think it was good. Some people thought some things were rigged, but I thought championship weekend was good. We got, Philly and San Francisco. That was a debacle, if you ask me. And then we got, was it Cincinnati and Kansas City, man? That one lived up to the hype, in my opinion. What are y'all thoughts, man? Championship weekend, what y'all think?
If you go back a few episodes, you'll see that I called this Super Bowl. So I just want to say I was right, and I've been laughing at the script, the NFL script memes and posts ever since Arian Foster came out and said what he said.
Definitely
So
been laughing at that.
this has been an hilarious week for the NFL. I do want to see Pat Mahomes' ankle get back to 100%. When teams get together for the Super Bowl, you want the best of the best to be able to get it in, so it leaves nothing, in doubt in your mind. So I want his ankle to be 100% when he plays. So you can really see two dynamic, athletic quarterbacks who can still get it done in the pocket, play at their absolute best. So I'm just excited for a real good game.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. I'm excited to see just these explosive offensives go at it. I was disappointed in San Fran, and it might just be the NFC, East rivalry in me. But of course I want the Chiefs to win. What? Come on. Of course I want the Chiefs to win. But
You
it's gonna
heard
be.
it. He's hating.
I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think the magician Mahomes is gonna pull it out. I do, as long as he stays healthy. If they go after his ankle or just exploit those injuries on the teams, that could be the change maker. So,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Pat Mahomes has 2 weeks to heal his ankle. I think he's going to be fine and ready to rock. As you see from some of the highlight clips above us, their defense is playing very well. I think we got a Kelsey Bowl. We got Travis and his brother. I can't remember his brother's name. I'm sorry. In Philly, but you got that, the Kelsey Bowl, and we got the blackest Super Bowl ever played. With both starting quarterbacks being black, so it's gonna be fun, man. So Rich, I heard you got the Chiefs. I expect that.
Man.
I expect that. Kev, who you got?
As you should.
I actually have the Chiefs winning, but I don't. I think it's going to be like a game-winning score, like close.
Whoever has the ball last.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm surprised we all three agree on this, but yeah, I've got the Chiefs too. And that's no shade against Philly. Philly has played their behinds off all season long, straight up, on offense, defense, special teams. They've been the class of the NFC, really, and it was obvious, if you ask me, since week 4. Week 4, it was pretty obvious that, that was the clash. They were the class of the NFC. So
absolutely. My thing is, if the Chiefs weren't the Chiefs, like if that, I don't know what it is. It's something always has some magic, and you're just like, what? How did the heck did that happen? He's throwing, magic, man. He's throwing the ball. He's in this game coming up in this Super Bowl, he's probably gonna throw the ball like 30 yards behind his back though. Like it's gonna be something. And then these plays that they actually run.
They actually run these plays, yeah.
Like they actually run. Like these are plays that are like you fool around and practice with, but they gonna go out there and run it on you, and you like, wait, what? Is this really happening?
Yeah.
Steve said it, that Andy Reid experience, and that black man who can't get a head coaching job, Eric Bieniemy, is doing a miraculous thing with that offense. And so, just the fact that they've been there, they've already won it, so they know what that pressure looks like and feels. They know how to prep for it. They know how to, deal with the spotlight and the adversity. I think that will, make a difference. It's just something to be said when you've been to the mountaintop, that, when the moments are most critical, those are the times that you need that experience to get it done. So,
yep.
Well,
they've been to the Super Bowl 3 out of the last 4 years. 3 out of the last 4 years they've been, and they haven't played no scrubs, man. They played a very strong 49ers team that honestly, up until 5 minutes left in the Super Bowl, was beating them. You know what I'm saying? Up until the 5-minute part, San Francisco was beating them. So they're playing a very good San Francisco team. They're playing a very good Tampa Bay team. With Goat Brady, who we're going to talk about in a second. And now we got Andy Reid going up against his former team. That's something else I forgot about. He's going up against his former team, the team that ran him out of the building, and now he's got a chance to go up against them for the Super Bowl. And I just think he's going to have something special cooked up for him, man. So, yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs on this one, too. I got to go with the Chiefs. It is what it is, man. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments, man. Eagles or Chiefs? Eagles or Chiefs?
Who y'all got? Let us know.
Right, and where the Super Bowl party's at, and that's
That part.
I'll bring a bottle.
Where the drinks at?
Right.
We bring bottles. Speaking of which,
yeah, and not the bottom, not them bottom shelf bottles.
That's right. Now
yeah, not the rim Lacoste and the yeah.
We're not bringing shooters and calling them bottles. You had to know. You had to be there. You just had to be there. Okay. Anyway, all right. Switching gears, man. So, yeah, we got all that with the Super Bowl. That's locked in place. We all got the Chiefs winning. Again, y'all let us know in the comments. And then we had the retirement, the second retirement of the GOAT, the greatest of all time, in my opinion, greatest quarterback of all time for sure, Tom Brady. He called it quits as well. I mean, let's be real, man. He just had a hell of a career. 23 years. It's going to be it's unparalleled. Although Pat Mahomes may make an argument to be up there in the goat conversation when his career
Oh
is all
yeah,
said and done.
yeah, definitely.
Um, 23 years of just excellence. Seven Super Bowl wins, 10 Super Bowl appearances. Even in the second half of his career, he made it to the his respective divisions championship game 9 out of the last 11 seasons. Like he was the final boss of the AFC. Like if you were going to get to the Super Bowl, you had to see Tom Brady, and you were
Yeah.
probably going to have to see him in New England. Period. He was the final boss. So thank you, 12. Thank you for giving Tampa Bay our second Super Bowl. Gang, gang. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Um, but yeah, man. What y'all thoughts on Brady, his retirement, his legacy, man?
I will say this because mine is gonna be short because I was a hater. I was a Brady hater. Um, you know, and probably because he was on the Patriots, but it is what it is. But what the one thing I can't hate is his work ethic, man. I mean, he
Yeah.
just worked, and it showed out on the field. So that I can't hate on. Much respect to him. And later on in his career, and especially when he went to the Bucks, I don't know. I just felt like either he showed more on social media, hit that other side of him, but I didn't know he was that funny. I didn't
Yeah.
know, it was like, wow, okay,
Got
Brady.
right.
He's got personality, and that just shows you what happens when, you sell out to the game 100%, and you just keep going after it. Now, do I
He
think he
sold
should have
out already. He
retired?
sold out to the game already.
I was about to say I didn't want to get into that because I was going to say some people put God family business, some other people put Anyway,
Had a whole
here's what
Thanos moment.
God, football, business, family.
here's what I will say though. He made his decision. He stuck to his guns and he kept working. He kept working at it. So, man, that's what I was going to say. I think he should have retired after that Super Bowl that he won with the Bucks.
So did
I
his
do.
wife.
Well,
Giselle thought that too.
that's whole nother
Listen,
conversation.
Yeah, that really would have been the place to go. Out on top. I mean, because of course, even after 6, there was really nothing left to accomplish. But if he felt in his mind he had to do it apart from Belichick or apart from New England, just to prove it. Like once he did it in Tampa Bay, that was really the time to hang it up. Not that he didn't have what we can call a successful season this season, but Tampa Bay didn't look like it did when he first arrived this season. So it almost felt like MJ in a Wizards jersey kind of year this year. Like I'm gonna get you to the
yeah.
playoffs just to get bounced out. So I kind of share the same sentiment. I would have liked to have seen him go after the Super Bowl. Probably could have saved his marriage, saved his family too. So he really could have won it all or kept it all or whatever case may be. I mean, he had a great career, but one of the takes I heard that I'm actually going to agree with is that like he was not he'll be considered the GOAT, but he was not the greatest of anything. Probably like except for Rich said his work ethic. Peyton Manning is probably the greatest regular season quarterback. Like Peyton, what he could do at the like in the huddle at the line of scrimmage with changes and reading defenses and all of that. Even statistically, like Peyton was probably the greatest regular season quarterback, and it was said that Joe Montana was the greatest like Super Bowl quarterback, just in the way that like he just carved teams up while he was there. So like, I'm a hater for a different reason. Like I feel like the Tuck rule was a real fumble and it like derailed what the Raiders were doing. And I feel like if that never happened, we'd be looking at a completely different person. So it's a lot of things that kind of have worked in his favor. Atlanta's meltdown, like some stuff's got to fall in line. He did some good things, but some stuff has worked in his favor too. So set a lot of records. If you play for 23 years, you're gonna set some records. Well, play well for a long time, you're gonna set some records, i.e., LeBron James. So I, wish him well. Respect his game. Never been the biggest fan.
What I'll say is, while I can agree that I also was not the biggest fan of the Patriots, you got to respect this man's greatness, yo. And even as a hater of the New England Patriots, I had to respect his grind, his work ethic, and the results. Because in the end, Peyton Manning was my favorite quarterback to watch, unless it was the playoffs or the last 4 minutes of a game. You know what I'm saying? If it's the playoffs, I wanted Brady. If it's the last 4 minutes of the game, I want Brady. Last 2 minutes of the game, I want Brady. Last minute of the game, I want Brady. Last 31 seconds of the game, I want Brady. First 55 minutes of the game, I want Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. But when it's all said and done, that's what I want. I want to, if I got one game from my life and I got a quarterback and I get to pick one, it's probably going to be Tom Brady. Maybe Joe Montana, maybe John Elway, but it'll probably be Tom Brady. He has the most, most yards, most championships, most MVPs, I believe. Threw for 5,000 yards. He was 40 years old. Nobody's done that. There's going to be similar haters to Tom Brady as there are to LeBron James. To your point, right? People will say, well, yeah, if this person had played, since he was 18, and if this person was 6'8" instead of 6'2", you know what I'm saying? There's going to be all that. But in the end, results matter, wins matter, championships matter. That's why you play the game, to quote Herm Edwards. So for my money, if I got to pick one quarterback for one game for my life, I'm picking Brady.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's it.
All right, enough of that Brady stuff.
Yeah. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Whatever. Next thing, check this out, yo. We going into fair or foul. I don't know if y'all saw this or not. $92,000. $92,000 for tickets. I believe it's the OKC game. It's a regular season game. For context, this is the game where he is projected, I believe, to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. Kev, is that right?
Yeah, that's the projection.
What?
If it, because that's at OKC.
Yeah.
It'd be extra petty if they sat him out so he could do it at home. But that would, I mean, it's egregious, but at the same time, somebody's gonna pay. Somebody, some CEO, some owner, some TikTok influencer is.
Some diehard fan is going to take out a loan.
Going to sell a lung, a liver, donate some blood and semen.
They're going, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, all right. So fair or foul? $92,000 for a ticket. I don't want to say a ticket to a basketball game because I don't want to diminish it. For a ticket to witness something that probably won't happen for another 40 or 50 years.
Potentially.
Right.
I'm talking about potentially happen on that night. Like
potentially happen on that night.
Yeah, if
that's a hell of a gamble.
That's worse than any parlay you can pick up. That you're hoping to pay $92K, hoping that it happens that night. Like that's if he were 5 points away,
just hope, man.
Like you know what I'm saying. But if he's like 30 points away, and granted he's been scoring 30 plus a game, but he's also had a 25, a 27 point game. So you would be blown if, like, let's say for whatever reason the Lakers are up on OKC like heavy and he don't play a fourth quarter, so he's
Yeah.
stuck at 22 points. Now you mad as hell that you done paid $92,000 to see him sit out a fourth quarter. Or, if for whatever reason, because OKC is a good team, a good young team, but they ain't playing good. So like if they happen to just have a wild night because they don't want it to happen and they double and triple LeBron all night, so he finishes with something like 12 points but like 20 assists. Now you're mad that he wasn't as
He
aggressive
scored
as
that game.
so like
Yeah.
it's fair because somebody gonna pay it, but it's foul because that's too risky.
That is a hell of a risk. LB, what you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's fair for them they can set whatever price they want. I think it's foul when somebody that cannot afford to pay that goes out and pays that. I think that's where it's foul. If you ain't got it, don't do it.
Some people like
So that fine print says tickets can be as high as 92,000. So that doesn't mean you have to be the one that pays that. So go ahead, get you all the way up. What's that? All the way in that little section right there.
That nosebleed, that good nosebleed.
That right there, and sit your butt down.
Cats be hating on
that game.
Don't be hating on the nosebleeds, yo. You can still see the game.
Listen, on that big screen, you just be in the atmosphere. Shoot, somebody ain't pay their rent this month because Beyonce said she going on tour. So
why do people do things like that?
You know why.
Do things like that.
You know why.
And then did you hear like some people? Well, not some. Well, I saw some backlash. People saying, why is she going on tour? She don't need money. Why the tickets so high? This, that, and the third. Like, she's rich. She doesn't need to go on tour. Tour is, exhausting and this, that, and the third. And it's like, but maybe she's doing it because she likes to do it. I don't know why she's doing it, but it's like, yo, why did negativity? Just listen. Let her live her life. She's gonna do what she do. I'm not going, but like all this negativity.
I'm gonna watch everybody post.
Right.
What? But I was laughing at some of this commentary, like people literally being mad that she's going on tour. Like, okay, so what? She can do what she wants. And if you think about it, her going on tour does give other people jobs.
And they're paid well. Okay,
very well.
Her NDAs get other people paid well. Okay, band paid well, background singers, dancers, technicians, stage crew, sound, lighting. Like, I mean,
mention all the people at the venues.
Right. She got teams, and she like chooses what they paid well. Okay, so
they better get paid well for them ticket prices.
But that's the thing. That's why the ticket prices are so high.
So that people can be paid well.
So people can get paid well.
I will never take anything away from her. Her performances are top tier.
Phenomenal.
They're second to none. You go see people pay ridiculous amounts of money to watch a rapper rap while his track is playing as a DJ plays it. Beyonce is gonna give you live band. She's gonna give you full choreo. She's gonna let you hear from the instrumentalists, from her singers. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna give she sings her songs while doing the court. Like she gives you a performance. She's a performer. She's not a singer. You know what I'm saying? She's no Milli Vanilli. She's performing. So like, nah, I'm if I had it, I would. I ain't got it though, so I'm not.
Yeah. And I think ultimately that's the same thing with this basketball game, man. If I had it, I would, be on the road for each of the last, 3 or 4 games where he's projected to break the record, and whatever the price is what the price is, and I would just pay it. But I ain't got it, so I'm gonna watch it on NBA TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it on YouTube TV. I'm gonna catch the highlights on YouTube.
Keep watching for as long as they talking about it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be that. So I'm gonna say I'm with y'all. I'm gonna say it's fair to charge $92,000 if that's what you want to do, because the price is what the price is. You got to pay for greatness. The price is what the price is. It's foul though if you ain't got it and you go trying to,
If you selling your baby's diapers to,
Hey man, I hear those of y'all who are with child. I heard if you sell breast milk. I heard that sells pretty well, actually.
Because
So
there's a formula shortage. So
that part.
it
So
really is. It
no, it
really
really
is.
is. Seriously, seriously.
Yeah.
So breast milk, sell it, get you some
Bread,
bread. It's going to be up there with gold and silver pretty soon. Which, by the way,
bread milk. You heard.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's move on to this next one, man. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my shot because we are definitely gonna need one after this one. We got another fair or foul coming up. I'm gonna share the video with absolutely no context. So get your glasses ready. Here we go.
You could bring some big energy. You don't have to have a big.
Oh, that's big energy. That just like I feel like that's just a way of saying like he's a cool guy. And
Have
then
you used small energy
Probably just
to describe what?
an asshole, a
Okay.
douchebag.
Who here is for body positivity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
For body
I hope
positivity?
you are.
Yes.
How can you simultaneously say that you're for body positivity, but then also use these terms?
Because it's not actually about their body.
The reverse?
Like-
Y'all would lose your if we were talking about loose energy, cavernous energy,
Dang.
small energy, girl energy. Like, y'all would lose your minds if guys were using these terms the same way that women use big energy, small.
And there we go.
Salud.
Salud.
L'chaim.
Okay. Gentlemen, you heard the claim. You heard what they said. We hear it a lot. Big dick energy, little dick energy. And now we have cavernous vag energy. And I think that's great. Cavernous vag energy is fantastic. But anyway, but bottom line, when we talking about body positivity, men get it. And if so, why? And if not, why? Go ahead, Gabe. You got it. Your word.
I ain't got it. I ain't got it. So I mean, I hold on to the fact that nobody can, like, no one's in control of what they were born with. So, unless you about to go out here and enhance, enlarge, reconstruct, shift, move, kick, push some stuff, you literally cannot help what you were born with. I want to say the average male penis size is something like 5 inches. So, if you're larger than that, then you're above average. But if that's the average, chances are it's going to fall somewhere in that realm. So, like, to, I guess, like, equate a man to his size and that be his, I won't say soul judgment, because when they talk like that, that's kind of the route they're going. Even though, funny enough, when I hear BDE, I'm thinking of someone who's overcompensating for something smaller by doing bigger things in other areas. Like, I'm gonna throw my money around because I don't know what I'm doing in the bedroom. I'm gonna throw my status around because I'm not really a performer. So, like, that's when I think of when I hear BDE. But again, you just, like, you can't help what you're born with. So we've heard all of those phrases. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion in the ocean. Because women can tell you some stories. They've seen some big ones that don't know what they do with it. You know what I'm saying? They've seen some long ones that are too skinny. Like, they've seen some, short ones that then kind of like rock their world a little bit. I'm just like, so experience and your determination in the moment is gonna have a lot to do with it. It's just a little wild. But like you said, we can't say, oh yeah, she got TPE, like type, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know, huh?
Or LPE, loose pussy.
Right. She got, what is that?
Well, so here's my question, Rich. Before you jump in, I see you. Before you jump in, did you hear their explanation on what that even means? Like what BDE, we'll call it that.
That's what I wanted to go over because I missed some of that.
Okay. So basically, what they were saying was, and I hate that it was such a childish response, but it was. It was BDE basically means that the guy's cool. That's what she said. It's a cool guy. You know, he's not an a-hole, and someone with SDE or LDE. Let's go with LDE. With LDE, is an asshole, I guess.
That ain't really
basically how how they perceive you is how big or little you're.
It has nothing to do with the actual size. It's just their
energy they
definition,
project, I guess.
Right? The energy
ego
being projected, defined by them in their minds. But defined by them, because they're the ones they're the ones making this up. So
yeah,
they're defining that. They're saying, "Hey, this is what it means,"
which is wild.
But it means nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. It means nothing. Ladies, in the comments, y'all gotta help us out. Y'all gotta help us out.
Listen, and he was right. Ladies would absolutely be like up in arms if we were talking about, nah, you got DVE, you got dry vag energy. Like what? They're gonna be upset. Come on. What does that even mean?
Dry vag energy. I love it.
Put it on a t-shirt. Hashtag.
Put it on a shirt.
Yes.
But we should though. We're here delivering fellas from DVE, man. You know, be leery. Be leery. That shit is a killer. Yeah. As y'all can see, that liquor wasn't enough. That wasn't enough for me after that one.
I can't.
I can say it's one of those things you hear it all the time. And women, again, like I said, I need one of the ladies to help me out as far as what that actually means. Because what's the equivalent in man world? They got, were they sexy? I think we would just say they hot or something.
It's just not that. It's not that deep. Like they're just bad. Like they're bad. But
it's one of the things. Like I said, I hear it all the time. Sahara veg. Yes. It's one of the things. Like I said, man, I hear it all. Well, I don't hear it, but you hear it like thrown around social media all the time. I'm married. Fuck you guys. I ain't got to hear none of that. Okay, I know what I'm coming to the table with. Anyway, but I hear that kind of talk from people all the time. So and so has that. So and so has that. That energy, and I'm just like, but what if somebody has BDE, right? But then they're a grower, not a shower.
Well, some women like that. I hate Twitter at times because I see more than I want to or need to, and like you can literally, you know what I'm saying, like the Twitter timeline is unpredictable, so you can literally go from
undefeated
from sports to OnlyFans in 2 tweets, or it's literally, if something goes viral, I can guarantee you in the comments is somebody trying to promote their album or their SoundCloud, and also an OnlyFans. Like it could be a political viral something, and somebody is gonna have it bust wide open underneath that political topic just because they know it's viral and they trying to pull some views in. So I've seen tweets that are like, I prefer a grower so that I can feel it happening in the process. Like I'm just so people wild, which is another reason why you just gotta mind your own bedroom, because different strokes for different folks. You feel me?
Not quite literally.
You like what you like.
Then I guess that's it. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So, all right, fellas. So project BDE and be very leery of DVE, okay, or
Or
SVE. I like the
SVE.
Harrah
Yeah.
badge. SVE.
Shout out to
SBE.
Jay Owens.
Shout out to my
SVE.
man Jay Owens, man. You the goat for that one, bro. You
That sounds like a
the
TV show.
goat of the
SVE.
night. Oh hell yeah, relationship pool, dating pool, SVE.
Hashtag DVE hashtag SVE.
Well, speaking of which, well, let's talk about this, right? Because oftentimes we talk about the fellas and what challenges we have and stuff. So let's look at this one, man. This next one, fair or foul. Get y'all cups ready. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Oh man.
Every time there's a mishap like that, I'm gonna take a double shot.
Now,
There we go.
now that is interesting.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, definitely. Now that's interesting. Oh, good grief.
That's on me. I'm in the cut. Um, so, fellas, fair or foul, man. You see, he set out the rose petals, had the bed set out. Obviously, he hasn't come into his fortune yet, but he looks like he's trying to take care of the lady. There were some responses to that. What are y'all thoughts, fellas?
I think that he's trying to take care of his lady, not anybody else's lady. His lady. I mean, it looked like he was laying out some rose petals, trying to be romantic and whatnot. I mean, I don't see the problem with that. That sounds like it's fair to me. Of what he's doing for his lady. So, anybody else's comments can kick rocks. That's what I think about it. All these comments about, ooh this and ooh that. First of all, do you even have a man? Live a single life. Like, come on, man. You wish you had somebody to do that for you.
Yeah, no, I'm so and I feel like this is one of those $200 date pieces, the one that we see every other month because just a little while ago we were talking about the video. The dude had something set up for his girlfriend, and like it was almost like a Motel 6. He brought her in, had rose petals on it. It had to be like a full size bed. You could see the little like old fashioned vent joints by the window and all of that. But he had, it's like a little cheap bottle of liquor, couple blunts that was already pre-rolled, like, and she was loving it. And he, you could tell he really put that thought in for her. Like, what I'm saying? So like they enjoyed it, but people was eating that up on the internet like, oh, that's so low class and blah 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 blah. Like, again, if it works for your situation, then by all means working for your situation. A whole mood and vibe can be set for little to nothing. And again, as we go into Valentine's Day, like you can make Valentine's Day really nice for your person, what I'm saying, on a fixed income, on a low budget, whatever the case may be. I mean, that could be something as simple as, change the light bulbs, screw in some red light bulbs, you know, put on some good music, y'all dance inside your apartment, you cook dinner, whatever. Like, you can set a vibe at whatever your price point is. And people, you know, get so caught up in, oh, if it ain't got this name brand on it, if you ain't fly me out to here, if you ain't do this, you ain't do that, then like the romance is non-existent. Nah, if that's their scenario, then by all means. Hell, even if I had a fully furnished place, there's still something to be said about like a low key vibe. Like, I, you know, pitched the tent. I think one of the coolest videos I saw, it was like some newlywed parents, and like they had a like infant toddler, so they hadn't had a chance to go out. So like the husband had set up like something in the backyard, and so they, you know, had the baby on the baby monitor, and he just brought her out to the backyard, like had a whole tent set up, and they just had a date in the backyard. So it was like a different environment, it felt like a different feeling, but they were still able to be there, keep an eye on the baby, you know, that kind of thing. So like, you got to make your situation work for you. And people get so caught up in, again, the social media, high expectations, unrealistic expectations, that we lose sight of what was the effort like. And that whole setup, that whole scenario looks like incredible effort from a person. So like, man, get out my face. Double shot, Trey.
Damn, because I was muted. All right. That's how we're going to do it. Double shot. Okay. No, I completely agree with you, though, because the reality is that everybody isn't built, or everybody doesn't have the advantages to be able to fly people around and fly people out and stuff like that. Number one. Number two, I say this a lot. People that make a lot of women talk about how they want the guys that can spend that kind of money on them and stuff like that, and just fly them out and fly them around and do this and do that, and take them here, take them there, and all that kind of stuff. The reality is that most of those men aren't home, and really, in the end, that's probably where you want them more than any place else. You want them home with you. People that make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, they're not in the house, right? This is what I'm saying. Right. So, yeah, they kind of got to go extra, in my opinion, just my opinion. They kind of got to go extra hard because they got to make up for all the time they weren't there. I remember like years ago when I was in the mortgage field before everything went to shit, we was making money hand over fist, but I also was never home. Morning time was the best time to talk to homeowners that were older. Evening was the best time to talk to homeowners that were in the house. Afternoon was the best time to talk to business owners. So it was 9 to 9 every day. And if I wanted West Coast business, it was 9 to 12. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was making that, but honestly, shoot, I ain't gonna lie. At that time, when it came to stuff like Valentine's Day, yeah, I was overcompensating because I wasn't home. I wasn't ever there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking anybody, man. Shout out to all those that do it and do it the right way, and they keep their women and all that stuff, happy and all that stuff. But it's unrealistic, I think, to put those expectations on everybody, because everybody doesn't have that. And then there's always that give and take too. You might get this flued out from time to time, but he also is probably going to be out here in the streets, or at least not in the house.
I see these comments as projections, right? Because you're projecting that onto their situation, and that's again not what she wanted. Fly her out somewhere. She's afraid of flying. How about that? Take her on an expensive, vacation and whatnot. She would rather save for a house.
Yeah.
Why are you that deeply involved in commenting on somebody else's situation, projecting what you would rather have, rather than just saying that was nice that you took the time and thought to do anything for your significant other?
Well, how about that? Grateful for that. That's called being grateful.
Right. People are miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. And misery loves company.
Man.
That's why the saying goes, I'm gonna say people. But y'all know who the saying is actually about, but I'm gonna say people. Single people keep people single. Okay, I'm gonna say people, but y'all know who that quote was actually about. Okay, all right, but that's why, man. It's like, yo, what? Come on, man, mind your business. You know, let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
So some people might say, well, you know, why show it at all then? You know, that's intimate. Keep that between yourselves. Hey man, again, some people are gonna do what they do if they feel like social media is their outlet, or even like, you know, that might inspire another guy who doesn't have a whole lot to go do something.
There you go.
Know? So again, like, why bash him? Like, I know why you bash him, because you all right.
Miserable.
Because misery loves company. Because I'd imagine a lot of these ones that are bashing, bro, don't have nobody.
Like I said earlier, yeah.
Or the insecurity, like that they're probably seeing somebody who has more resources to do more and still doesn't even give that kind of effort. So like, you know, you just all kinds
that
of mad.
part.
Damn.
Why put in the effort? They can buy the box.
How about they're in the situation like you said, Kev, but they're in the situation for the wrong reasons. So, you know, that person's gonna keep you around because they getting what they want, but you only sticking around because of that monetary value, thinking that, oh, you could either change this person or this is gonna happen. Oh, they got this, they got that, they can do something for me, right? But that other person's thinking, oh shoot, I could do whatever I want and be on this other side. So this could go so many ways. Listen, y'all out here worried about these people over there. You need to be worried about yourselves and your situation.
You got to be careful, because you could mess around and end up stuck on a plane somewhere and, you know, just get the worst possible news ever. I wonder if I have like a clip or a graphic or anything somewhat detailed or something like that.
He shot me down, bang, bang, I hit the ground, bang, bang, that awful sound, bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Oh my God.
Bang, bang.
Okay. All right. Good. One, I don't have to take another shot.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and pour a shot first.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pour a shot. I don't have to take a double one because that one was right.
Oh man. We all need God in therapy.
Hey, he said it. We out here with the God in therapy. Oh, that's crazy. Y'all know what time it is. As we said last week, whenever God in therapy is mentioned, it's time to take another shot. So here we go. Oh, shit.
It's the French toast country part for me. All right, so
okay,
I'm
gonna we got a card for us. What's the card?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take my shot after I read the card. All right, so visualize the most pleasant date with a potential partner, or in y'all cases, with your partner, the most pleasant date with your partner. Think of all the details like attire, location, how you're spending time together, etc. So go ahead and break that down for me. What is one of the most pleasant dates? And even if you got to think back, like, so it may not be something that you're planning, but something that happened already. What's one of the most pleasant dates that you've had with your partner?
Oh man, I'm gonna go first because this one is right off the cuff, man. So my wife and I, we love like vintage, uh, just like things, the era. We love, just the antiques, just style, everything, right? So I took her out to Vintage Maryland, to Vintage Restaurant, and then it was in, this small little vintage town. So we had a nice dinner at this restaurant. We had on, some vintage modern, style clothing. They loved us when we got in there, and we had a nice dinner. I mean, that place was awesome. I wish it was still open. Sadly, it didn't make it through the pandemic. And then, of course, the town, right, is vintage. They had some cobblestone and some other older buildings, and we, just had a nice little walk, through this town. And as we were walking through the town, we came up on this. We went past the church and came up on this old building, which actually got turned into, I think, like a child care center or something like that. It was the sun was setting, and it was just a beautiful setting, and that's where I proposed to my wife. And yeah, that was that was it. That was the most memorable date, proposal, all of that. Man, it all just like domino effect fell in order. I was like, boom, here it is, right here.
Phenomenal.
Heart was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And she
Man,
was
listen.
she was reading this historic, uh, 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 history on the building that you could read, and she turned around, and boom, I was there, one knee, poured my heart out, and here we are.
Beautiful, man. I love it.
It's
I
lit.
love it.
It's,
Um, I would say it would be it was two, but the most recent one is one I use. We went to the Poconos, um, and it's just little stuff. We spent a lot of time. We did the rafting, the canoeing, and we just spent a lot of time just on the water, just kind of letting the water take us. Like let us slowly drift away. Wave after wave, wave after wave, wave after wave. So, no, but that's what it was, man. It was beautiful scenery. Like I think back on it, it was right in the fall, right in October. In alignment with our rustic theme wedding, and it was great, man. It was just an enjoyable time. We didn't go any place fancy. We went miniature golf after we got on the water. That I mean, just it, wa- my wife and I like to just have fun, and that's the best thing about us. Like you know, is as long as we're having a good time, if we're in each other's presence, 99% of the time, it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And we work really hard to make sure that that's the case. So yeah, that trip to the Poconos a weekend, anytime I could get my wife out in nature. Another time would be when we all went, um, with my oldest and Amaya a little while back. Amaya was maybe 1 or 2, and we just went on a nature date. Went on a trail. There's a couple of them in Maryland that are really nice, actually, right outside of Baltimore. Right, some in Baltimore that's really nice. And we just spent some time out there. Just in each other's presence in nature. You know, people that matter the most. I mean, that's big for me. So
fire. All right, so I
Yeah.
guess I've got to be the potential one. I think, no, for me, I think the most pleasant potential date is as a musician is going to involve live music. So I like going to a nice restaurant that's got good food. But if they have a live band playing, then like you've got me.
Yeah.
So just like being in the ambiance, so it gives us a chance to just sit and talk, and then like where you're not feeling to constantly be in conversation, then you just got some time to enjoy that live entertainment, that music, take that in, to be in a place that's not too crowded, because I don't like people. Like, I'm a people person, but I don't like people. So like not too crowded, just good ambiance, good vibes. Hopefully either before or after we got a chance to just kind of walk around in the area, even if that means we parked a little far from the restaurant or whatever, but just give a little moment to walk and talk. Chances are it's like somewhere spring or fall where it's not too hot, but decent enough that you're not wrapped up like Eskimos. I think that's a vibe too. And just
I don't
and
do
like
cold. I don't do
right,
cold.
this cold is mad disrespectful. But just the opportunity to enjoy each other's company above everything, have a good conversation. Like, if you can get me a good drink in that situation, then it's gonna
There we
be
go. There we go.
super.
Now we're talking.
But I mean, like, I've always been a hopeless romantic, and I'm also a simple person. So like, if we're bar side at a cool spot, and just got a cool bartender who can read the room and just create some jokes and some just good conversation, like that's gonna be a pleasant experience for me.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to kind of feel that way all the time, where conversation is not forced, but you can just feel the energy and enjoy each other's presence in time. So that would be that for me.
Agreed. Above all else, man, just to be able to spend some time, quality, quiet
Yeah.
time together. Like, I genuinely, and we're gonna get to the marriage topic in a minute. I genuinely just enjoy, the. I look forward throughout all the chaos of the day. I look forward to the 45 to 60 minutes or so I get to just, sit and do absolutely nothing with my wife. you know, so um,
There we go.
there we go.
As we get older, you know what I'm saying? Just the quality time of just sitting, just being in the presence, even if it's just in quiet time. It's just or even like I saw something else that was like um taking a nap with your spouse. I said, what?
Where did we do this at? Where does that happen?
I said, what? Taking a nap with you? I said, what? I would kill for a nap.
Probably I
would,
would literally murder
listen,
for a nap.
Listen. If we could be like some other countries that actually have breaks during the middle of the day where you go home and eat with your family and do whatever with your family, and then you go back to work and spend another 3 hours or whatever it is, and then you close out that day. Like, what? Oh my gosh, like that would be amazing. I think we're just too ingrained in this machine. Go, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 6 to 3, like 9 hours, 10 hours, 7 to 7. Like, it's insane. We're not machines. We are not family oriented anymore. Like, this is crazy. We need to redo this whole thing. We need to, because I'm serious. Other countries getting, you're getting time off to be able to raise your child for the first 1 year, 2 year, whatever it is. Like, this is insane that we call ourselves family oriented, or that we're saying that we care for the kids and we care for families and whatnot. This is insane that
Really care about
the structure needs to be reconstructed. This is crazy how we
America,
live.
America is a third world country with a Telfair bag.
The guy on the bus with a Gucci belt.
You know, that's it. That's it. That's us.
Mm. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that tangent. That was totally not the video that we looked at, but
Yeah, it wasn't, but that was his tension.
but
But
honestly
again,
though, that's more important. And honestly, that kind of segues us into more of our mainish topic, if you will. What I'll say is, you know, it about the last video. One of the questions that what's tied in was, why don't men just break up? When we're not happy, why don't we just leave when we're not happy? And some of the comments were that for men, you know, if we commit to you, if we really committed to you, it's serious, it's legit. Like we don't want to commit and then not be men of our words and dip off. So we'll try to work with you because we've been also told that we got to take you as you are and kind of work to get you to kind of understand us a little bit, but we have to also really work extra hard to understand you. So that takes a lot longer. And although we may not be happy, we know what we're supposed to be doing, quote unquote. And so we stay a little bit longer sometimes, more than we should. What do y'all? Those were some of the comments I saw. I'm just kind of summarizing them all. What are y'all thoughts on that?
hard to argue, man. And I mean, I just saw a post while we were, pre-show. Just saw a post that, and of course, they called her a pick me, but the woman, and she like, which makes me sad because she literally finished the whole statement with "it goes both ways," and they still called her a pick me. But like, it's
Of course,
her whole statement was like, men deserve to be treated well too, which you would think that's not an absurd statement, but anytime those social media frenzied people here treat a man well, they go extremely to the left. Well, they don't treat us well. Okay, well then that means you seeing the wrong man. Like that's not, the part that should be understood is, if a man is good to you, damn it, be good to him too. Like, don't just let him be good to you and you do nothing. Like that's wild. No, you wouldn't go work a job where you always do your job and there's no reciprocity. Like, you're not paid on time, you're not receiving bonuses, they don't ever acknowledge your hard work. Like, you're not gonna stay at that job. You wouldn't, like, be on a team that didn't, like, allow you to like shine at whatever your strength is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff you're not gonna put up with. But when we get into relationships, it's, happy wife, happy life, when it should be, happy spouse, happy house. Because again, like, the man deserves to be treated well, just like the woman deserves to be treated well. So like, it's always baffling to me that that's a far-fetched thought, but that's along the lines of what we were hearing. Like, well, damn, a woman just, waits to be taken care of. And I'm not saying that's wrong. As a man, we're supposed to be the head. We're supposed to take care of our woman, make them feel loved, secured, protected, all of these things. But what where is our reciprocity? Where does our peace come from? Where, are our, like, where our love language is met? Where is our words of affirmation? Where do we get that from? And if not from you, where then does it come from? And if not from you, why then are we here? Like, relationships are give and take, and that's the part that's forever going to be baffling to me. So like, I wholeheartedly understand it, and we always say it's not all. So there are a ton of women, shout out to y'all wives, who acknowledge the men that they're married to, appreciate them for the things that they do, see, respect them, all of those things. But you do have a conclave of women who just believe that you take care of me and that's as far as it goes. You spend money on me and that's as far as it goes. And I'm just supposed to, get my hair and my nails done, look pretty, and you should just enjoy having a trophy wife.
facts.
Go
I'll speak.
ahead. Go ahead and be single. Go ahead and be single. Because if you thinking that way, like just own it. Just own it. Go ahead and be single. Like marriage is not for everybody. I'm gonna say it. Marriage is not for everybody. Go ahead and be single. And own it. Like I think that you don't go in thinking it should be, this, I'm only gonna do this little bit, but you're gonna do all of this. Nope. Mm-mm. Just go ahead and be single. Jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and y'all live in y'all world. Be truthful about it, though. Be upfront and honest about it. That way
you in your whole phase.
You're not getting a whole bunch of drama. That way you're not lying to the next person. You go ahead and y'all single people can do y'all. Y'all can do y'all.
God forbid that man have a hardship.
But here's the thing: if a man, if a man chooses a wife, like if a man truly chooses a wife, and he's like serious about it, you got to understand what that looks like, what that's coming with. Like, this man is not being vulnerable with anybody else. This man is not being open, completely open. You know what I'm saying? With this open, Trey know what I'm talking about because he's married. Like, listen, especially in our era of growing up, of how tough we had to be, and this is what it is to be a man of the highest type. Like, I'm just saying, like, we were fighting.
Before that was a thing, it was already a thing for us.
It was already. Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
We had our guard. We got our guard up all the time, no matter what. Always observant, always ready to fight, always ready. Yep. What is it? It's better to have a soldier in the garden, a warrior in the garden, right?
Yep.
Warriors, warriors. But that warrior at one point, right? If that warrior has a wife, at that point, he is now giving that you'll never see him in that element of vulnerability, except for his wife is saying that. You see what I'm saying? It's like he's only giving that to her, and he's allowing her to take on that. I'm now laxed. I can relax in my wife's arms. I can now be vulnerable. She can massage me without me going, without me being tensed or
it's a place of rest.
It is.
Rest
it's a place of rest. It's a place of comfort. It's a place of peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
And I think we can all agree we want that more than anything. That should be our peace. So, like, we out here in these streets, like, and look, listen. The majority of hardships. Kev, you mentioned hardships. The majority of hardships, like, statistically fall on men. This is not saying that women don't have any hardships at all. This is saying that men's life is not easy. We also have hardships. Okay? And whatever hardship category you can think of, homelessness, mostly men, suicide, mostly men, joblessness, mostly men, poverty, mostly men. You know what I'm saying? Women nowadays they own more homes. Like, single women own more homes than single men do. So, like, literally, like, every hardship you could think of, that, like, it's mostly men statistically. So that's something that we all need to understand, that we all go through it, right? If we equal, then that means your trauma and my trauma is what it is. How are we going to take this and move forward? How are we going to use, go back to it, God and therapy to move forward? God and therapy to move forward. You know?
And it definitely has to be equal. What we got?
What are your expectations from your partner regarding your career?
Ooh. Well, regarding my career?
Your career.
Oh.
What are your expectations from your partner regarding your career? So what do you expect them to feel regarding your career? Which I think is different than like what do they actually feel? Like what do you think they should, like how do you I'm gonna take this a step further. Like how do you want them to support you? Like what does their affirming you or challenging you in your
So,
career look like?
so yeah, let me jump in. So of course, my expectation is support, but also honesty. I want to know how you feel about my career. I want to know, up front, like, do you think that this is the right career, or do you think that my talents are better used elsewhere? Like, don't just be a yes woman for me. So I also expect that you know whatever my career is for me well, I guess for me at the point that I am right now, I am more focused on providing, right? So I'm protecting, and I like what I do. I'm not totally in love with what I do. So, but that's not where I'm at right now. I'm not in the point of doing what I love, because some of the things that I do that I love are my side hustles. So, for right now, with the stage that my family is in, I'm in provider and protect mode. And, I'm running with that. And I expect her to support and to give her honest feedback and to, you know, um, communicate with me at all times, about it. And she does. She gives me honest feedback about where I am, where I should go. She gives me honest feedback all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not fun to get that honest feedback. Sometimes it's not fun. You know. For the strictly for the sake of time, I ditto to what he just said. And that communication piece is so key. Like, I need her to be, as straight up and upfront and honest with me as possible, about about everything, right? Excuse me. Because if I don't know I encourage her to speak up, like, no, say what's on your mind. If it's the irrational, I didn't think this through, I'm being emotional, fine, okay, cool. We can acknowledge that together, and great, and set it up. Great, you got it out of your system, and let's move forward. But we have to communicate. This won't work if we don't know how each other is thinking and how each other is feeling. It won't work. It can't work. So as far as career is concerned, I guess for me, I just what he said, communicate how you feel, and or handle your business, do what you got to do, stay out of the way. you know we can be involved. You can be involved when if you feel something, or if I need to bounce an idea off of you. But otherwise, I'm gonna go do what I need to do. You let me know where you need support, and you know let's move. Let's get this thing going. And now, fortunately, because I'm working from home, which is great. it's even more, but that requires even more communication between me and her, because this is her domain. I'm invading her space. You know what I'm saying? So that requires even more communication between the two of us. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Yeah, like you said, for the sake of time, so I'll say
she
this.
already giving me a look.
Don't
That's
do
right. That's right.
But no, for the
This is
sake
your
of time,
house.
I'll
No.
make this fast. So they say like our first loves will always be our mothers. And so like, I am a mama's boy, but I understand the cleave part, but I will say this is my takeaway. My mother had to see my career in order to understand it. She did not agree with my major. She did not agree with my career choice at all. Like when I told her I was going to be a music major, a vocal performance major, she was like, no. Like she had taught for a while and was like, teachers, they don't get paid enough. Teachers, particularly of the arts, like when they make budget cuts in schools, the arts are always the first thing to go. She was fearful with some, like experience around it so I could understand it. However, what we say, what God has for you, it is for you, and he'll always make a way. So it wasn't until she saw me at my first concert with Morgan's Choir and like how engaged I was, how much fun I had, that she was like, I get it. And then a step further, my senior recital, she was like, I see the passion. I never knew you could learn music like this, perform in foreign languages, stand on the stage by yourself, blah blah blah. And then of course I started teaching, and she got to see me, with my kids in concert and all of that. So like she took the time to understand why I had to embrace this calling on my life and ran with it. So I would expect my partner to feel and do the same. Like even if you don't agree with it, even if you have your fears or reservations, which are valid, take the time to understand why I'm so passionate about this thing that I want to do. If I can't articulate that, then we need to have some conversation. But if I'm sound on why this is the direction that I want to go, and if I believe that God is leading me into this direction, then I need you to at least understand it. I need you to trust me as a man, trust that, like we've said, I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna protect you. Like, I'm not just gonna have you out here wild in the streets. So at least take the time to understand me, and then we can have some conversations from there.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't say it better, man. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Um, I ain't got nothing else, man, for that one. Let's move on to our main subject, and we're gonna try to get through this, but this is important. This is all kind of ties in together because ultimately there is to your point, Kev, there's a calling, on men. There's a calling for men, from God, right? And we need to understand what our role and position is for real. I often say, in the end, it starts with us. It starts with us in our homes, right? And, it starts with us being focused on, in my opinion, God, husband, wife, kids, being in alignment with God. So it starts with us being here. So let's talk a little bit about that, man. Raise the glass, and we're gonna get into it. Talk a little bit about the art of manliness. Let's holler about it.
I thought you were about.
We're talking here about the role of the husband in marriage, and society has largely forgotten the role of the husband in marriage. I mean, they've forgotten the wife's role, that's for sure. In fact, some of society hates the wife's role as if it's a bad thing. And it's a beautiful and glorious thing if you understand it correctly biblically. But I think that a vague memory of the role of the wife is still in society and in our culture today. But the husband's role is completely lost. It seems to me that of the two roles, the one that we need to be reminded of the most is the husband's role. I mean, here you've got Homer Simpson and Marge Simpson. And that Homer Simpson character is pretty much representative of so many of the Al Bundys and the various, you can tell what we watched when I was growing up. But you can tell that the role of the husband is just kind of forgotten. And so a lot of guys have no idea what it means to be a man. And I could say the same thing for me. When I was in my early 20s, if you were like, Mike, what does it mean to be a man? And I would have been like, That's a fantastic question. God's call to husbands is so needful right now. It's so necessary. The divorce rates are about 50% in America, in our country, about 50% divorce rates. And that's a whole complicated subject in and of itself. I'd love to tackle it sometime if we happen to get there. But check this out. Those statistics radically change when you have a biblical marriage. Just for those who save themselves for marriage, it drops to under 25%. For those who actually have a biblical concept of marriage, it just drops much greater. God's plan is good for us. It's like it is the right way to do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably need 2 shots for this one.
Probably gonna need 2 shots for this one.
I'm gonna keep my ass quiet.
Hey, you gonna throw it to the married bros? You gonna kick it to the married bros?
I mean, listen, you know what they say. If you ain't it, you ain't supposed to speak on it. So I'm on.
Okay, all right. I do want your feedback though. I do want to know because you're not married, and a lot of people will watch this that aren't, and I want to know what a not yet married person thinks when they hear that. Okay. But that's it, Rich. You want to jump in first?
Once you unmute, double shot. We about to.
Once I unmute,
Hey, I need somebody in the comments to keep track going forward. I need one of y'all to keep track of all of our double shots. Okay.
We are party fouling. Okay.
It gets better the drunker we get. All right, go ahead.
Gotta do something. We appreciate you being a good team player.
All right, so what we talk about? All right. So one of the things that I heard, right, was about the biblical roles, and the role of a wife being frowned upon. I actually agree that society seems to be frowning upon that biblical role or traditional role, or it's like frowned upon if you're taking care of the house and not out there also getting a bag. And to me, I understand that money is a means to an end. So why are you out there getting a bag if you want a provider and protector, right? And that man is out there getting that so-called bag. What are we trying to do here? And again, I'm not saying it's all because everybody has their own reasons. They have their own wants and desires. You can come to an agreement with what you want to do with you and your family. I know for me personally, my upbringing was both mom and dad were working 2 jobs at one point, right? So it felt like we were just raised by the community and by church, for the most part. So it's again really about what you want to do. But as far as what he said, with these roles, I do agree that the role is being frowned upon, like it's a bad look to be a stay-at-home mom, or just taking on those roles of taking care of the house. But again, I'm not gonna knock you. If you got the money to have a maid, so be it. If I had the money if I had the money to get a maid, to take care of some of this stuff so that I can continue doing what I want to do, hey, you know, do it. If you got the money, sure, why not? I'm not gonna knock, what you got going on. I'm just agreeing that, it's it's I do agree that it's frowned upon, you know, in today's society, that you got to be this boss. This Our society is really pushing this boss lady, this women empowerment, but empower to what? Like, are you competing against men? Like, what? I what is this empowerment, and what, because you are a powerhouse to run the family house, to run the house.
To run the house.
So is so now you want to. I'm just trying to understand, like, what is it that you need that you're not getting. And I don't want to say, because that's not a whole, right? That's not everybody as a whole, right? This is some, or what's being pushed. But it's like, what are we really talking about here? Do you know what you really want? What is it? It's like, do you want to? Are you really talking about, just switching the roles? Is that the agenda? Is that what we're talking about here? Because, but anyway, that's going off in a tangent. I'm gonna leave it there for a second. Trey, I'm gonna let you jump in.
I agree with you, and I totally see where you were going with that. And so, just to kind of tie it all the way back around, I think that overall, a big part of the reason, and Kev, I think you'll agree with this one. Um, uh, a big part of the reason why there is kind of in a sense of the sun wanting to play, or the moon wanting to play the role of the sun, so to speak, right? Um, a big part of that is because a lot of, or they feel like, or they've been told that a lot of men, kind of left them hanging in one way or another, and there were a lot of different reasons why, women ended up by themselves. I totally condemn all the double life men out here. 100% condemn that. 100% condemn the cheaters out here, and I think we all can agree on that. But by and large, I think ultimately our our role, our responsibility as the breadwinner, as the protector, as the provider, as the provisioner, for many men, we've kind of let that go. And a lot of why, I think, is because we've been conditioned that way. We've been, kind of taught that we ain't nothing, right? So with all that being said, going back to what this brother said, is it does go back to knowing what God. We always say God in therapy, right? And I don't mean that for a thing, right? But we always say that. But literally, it has to do. It literally has to do with being back in alignment, with God, right? Get back in alignment with the Creator, back in alignment with your Father, right? Either way, the thing is, you either choose God or not God. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You're either choosing God or you're choosing not God. So, whatever you want to call it, you can call it, whatever. That doesn't matter. I don't care what you call it. It's either God or not God, right? So over the next couple of weeks, as we close out season 2, we're gonna dig into more of that audio. That was only a little bit of it, but it is absolutely about getting back in alignment. And it's not to say that you can't have fun, can't have a good time, and all that stuff. But at the same time, your principles and your values still have to be in alignment with the Most High. So, I think he's absolutely right. And the thing is, as I've examined myself, my marriage, my adult life, according to the Bible, according to the Word, yeah, I've learned there's some things I need to change. And I have. I have changed a lot, and there's more still for me to change because I'm far from perfect. Um, but that's all about being in alignment, and that's how I'm leading my family, right? So again, back to what he was saying, the God's plan is good for you. God's plan is right for you. Is right for us, right? And if we're following that, then we seek God first, and all these things are added. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I don't want to go too long winded on that. What's your thought on that, bro? We got another minute or so, 2 minutes before we go to the next thing.
So I'll say speaking to the what he said about the like divorce rates and things like that. And I talked to y'all about this a little while ago that I've been sitting on this thought for a while, and I'll just call it relationships since I'm not married. And I do think this is greater than just like romantic relationships, friendships, working relationships. Like relationships are not hard work, but they take work. And like that's always been my feeling. You know, even when it comes to career stuff, like they say, if you love what you do, then you never work a day in your life. And I like to take that approach into my relationships. Like if I love you the way that I say that I do, if I care about you, my friends, my family, my frat brothers, all of that, then like I'm like my relationship with you, my friendship with you is not it's not a job. It's an experience. And so, yes, it takes work for it to be that way, but it shouldn't and doesn't feel like hard work. Like, yes, we as frat brothers we can give each other tough love, like we tell each other what we need to hear when we need to hear it, but that's not hard work. It's the right thing to do. And I think people, in general lose sight of that. Like, it's all good when you're in the honeymoon phase because everything is warm and fuzzy and it feels good and it's easy to do because all you're showing are the good things, forgetting that, like with anything, you got to keep working on it. You have to stay in shape for your relationships. Like, so if you are in shape, like, and you stop working out, you're not just going to automatically not be in shape anymore because you stop working out. But over time, you're going to like feel the effects of having not worked out in a while. And so I view my relationships the same way. Like if I understand that I need to be considerate of my partner, that's work, but it's not hard work because I love my partner. I care about them. I love my friends. I love my frat. I love my family. So like it's work to remember that I need to be considerate of other people, but that's not hard work. And I think like we lose sight of that. So relationships tend to fall apart when we become self-centered, when we become selfish, when we seek, like when we like forget to remember that there's somebody on the other side of this that needs consideration, that needs our thoughtfulness, that needs our kindness, our patience, our forgiveness. Like the fruits of the spirit are what should lead our relationships in every facet, and that just makes everything better. So like I think if we saw, again, God-led relationships, then you would see divorce rates not being what they are. But we're missing that God-led part. We're selfish and self-centered people in like by nature because we're
Yep.
human. So it
Yep.
takes a supernatural power and ability to get us out of our own way to consider somebody before we consider ourselves. And I would even say, being a parent now, like I can look at my relationship with my child and take a ton of things away from that in how I would want to be with my partner. I have to be extremely patient with my son because he's learning a lot of things. You have to be
Yes.
extremely patient with your partner because even if you've been together for a while, the natural evolution of you calls for your partner to learn new things about you. The natural evolution of your partner calls for you to constantly learn new things about them. So I
Yeah.
like my views on relationships have changed since I've become a parent. So like there's so much, to take away from it, but at the very core of it, it's just being a selfless person so that you can bring the best out of the person that you're involved with in whatever capacity that looks like.
That's right. That's right. Like we'll get into this next week, but like he goes on later to kind of describe what that looks like, right? You know what I mean? Like what that looks like as a husband, as a man, as as a father, as a so on and so forth. And we're gonna get into that. But you're absolutely right, bro. I like, you know, if you understand the role and the responsibility that's ahead of you as a husband, as a father, as a boyfriend, as a man, if you really truly understand that, then none of these things are going to come hard. Like it's not going to be hard for you. You know what I'm saying? It will take work, right? But things that take work aren't necessarily hard. Like it just takes work. It just is what it is. Like anything that is worth it, you have to work for it, right? If it's easy, it's sleazy. You know what I'm saying? Right? And that's with anything. That's with money, that's with people, that's with jobs, that's with anything you can think of. If it's easy, it's sleazy. Right? Oh, you can just do whatever you want. It's okay. Just be a good person. It's all right. No, that's too easy. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. All right, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me not go there. Let me not go there. Let me not go. Let me not go there. I've been drinking. We only got
Yeah,
15 minutes. We got 15 minutes, so let's get to some rapid fire, man.
Did we just subdivide?
I feel like we did.
Yeah,
we live. We on stage, baby.
We real live. We real live.
Hey, rapid fire, baby. Rapid fire. Let's go,
baby. Yes, sir.
What we got? What we got?
This rum and coke is warm.
Listen, man, I am.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and take this shot right here for the rapid fire before we get started, because I'm probably not going to remember to take any more. So. Gang. Okay. Where did we go to first? All right. We only got a couple minutes, so let's jump into it real quick. R. Kelly's charges have been dropped. Okay. All right.
What?
All right.
What?
Okay.
All right, next.
Okay. Wait. Chill. Everybody chill.
All right, next.
All right. On a local level, his charges have been dropped. Basically, long story short, it's saying that his federal charges are going to be enough to keep him in jail basically for the rest of his life. No need to pile on that. Quick reactions. Kev, what you think, man? What you think about this?
I don't care how long federal's going to keep him in. I'm not dropping nothing because what? He peed on people.
That's facts. Those are Snapple facts.
Did they want to be peed on?
They wanted to be paid on and peed on.
So it was consensual pee, is what you're saying.
Well, the underage part can never be consensual, but
Can
the
never.
parents,
Can-
the
yeah.
parents,
But can the
of-
parents consent?
Based
The
on
parents
state law.
consent.
and the parents also need to be in jail. But that's another conversation for another day.
I agree. I actually agree. No dispute.
Next.
What? I agree. All right, next one. Y'all. Oh, it's this. Okay. All right. No context. I'm a just. I need to take a deep breath for just a second. Okay. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Get my drink ready for this one, please. What? All right.
I'm not playing with you. I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want a child. I want my name dropped, meaning I want to be married. I'm not around with you. I am not your bed maiden. I am not your maid. I am not your floozy or your. You are going to have to give me something substantial because I know I'm worth that. I'm not all there. Sometimes I have my moments, but I know one thing. I'm good to you.
Oh my!
I'm throwing up in my mouth.
Oh my God!
First of all, you're not convincing me that she's 20.
Love doesn't have.
She's 40 in the
a
face.
number. Of,
She's 40 in the face, and they said that black don't crack. So that yeah,
age don't know no number.
Nah, but black don't crack, and she's 40 in the face. You're not about to tell me she's 24.
It's a hard knock life.
What I do know is she's
Y'all
written
saw
into
Dad's face though, right? Y'all saw Dad's face?
Yeah, absolutely. He's disgusted, but he also knows that when that old man dies, she was written into the will.
You know she has to be. You know that's the only reason she's in there.
I'm staying in your will.
It could be love. Is this love? Is this love? Is this
the love
of money?
Is love that
I was gonna say it can absolutely be love. The love of security.
Oh well.
I can't be mad about
But
that.
wait,
Can't be mad about that.
Love of social security.
I thought I read something that said she was pregnant.
Is she already? Is she already pregnant? She said she wanted to have 2 kids. Is she already pregnant?
Oh, maybe.
Somebody
Okay.
research that in the comments. Somebody research that in the comments. You go to the next one. We got to go to the next one because we got to get off.
It's a wanted. I don't know. I thought she was okay.
Oh my God! You got to be kidding me. He's procreating at 85. All right, next subject, yo.
Hey man, Hugh Hefner.
His old balls.
His old balls.
Hey man, they had the pump or something, or the pill, the pump. One of the P's.
Or that, they do the rectal thing where they can make you like ejaculate by the rectal. Next. Come on, man.
Rapid fire. Come on. No.
We received an email from the mother of a player on the Churchland High School girls JV basketball team that an assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball tournament. Here's video from that game. Churchland is in the black uniforms. Number 1 right there that just came up with the black block shot. We're told that is Arlisha Boykins. They were taking on Nansman River. This video has been edited to show you some of the highlights. Arlisha is apparently a 22-year-old young woman going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls. Now, we have confirmed that Boykins is no longer an employee of Portsmouth Public Schools. And since this game, the student athletes on the team and parents decided to just end the season. They will not be playing any more games this year. Portsmouth Public Schools did launch an investigation into this matter. The details have not been revealed by officials quite yet. Now, I spoke with the father of the 13-year-old girl that was being impersonated.
Coaches, always preach to the kids, about integrity and those type of things. So I was just shocked. I just need, an apology, because I haven't yet received one from, the overseer of the program or nothing. He just came out and just told us the stipulations of what was going to happen, but there was no apology issued personally to us, even in his presence.
We're going to follow up with this story if more information comes out. Those parents told me today that they are simply just seeking an apology from Churchland School.
What?
I'm still throwing up in my mouth a little bit, but
what?
Hey,
his old balls.
His old balls. Like I'm not over the old balls, but no, like Joanna man
golf
can't,
balls.
like a
So
day.
All right, this is foul all the way. Come on, man. You can
We're not even fair and foul, but this is foul.
But wait, so they wanted to win that bag because I know they had other players on the team. Because like what?
She blocked shots like a man.
Come on, that
Yeah.
Come on. Oh my gosh.
But why did it take them?
That's totally foul. All the way foul.
Why did they not realize this was a whole grown person?
That's what I'm saying. How did the referees and everybody else not realize that this was a whole grown up? Because I could tell from the video, from the nosebleed section, that was
she was on a low grade beaver tranquilizer, and you just,
I mean,
you know,
like the chick from Dodgeball.
Wow. Come on, man. It's just you can't, you know. We recognize that, man. Come on, man.
We out of here with it, man. Hey, listen. Hey, that's it, man. That's it. Final thoughts, man. What y'all think, man? Kev, talk to us, man. Go ahead, bro.
You know, Rich spoke on it earlier. We're headed into, you know, we are in the season of love and appreciation and all of that. So I never want anybody to get lost on the fact that they don't have a Valentine. Like we should be showing love every single day to each other. You should be showing love to yourself on a regular basis. Pump yourself with positive affirmations. You know, just recognize how special, how beautiful, how wonderful you are on a daily. So, you know, Valentine's Day is just one day. Side chick day, side piece day is just one day. So, you know, don't get too wrapped up in that. Know that you are, you know, fearfully and wonderfully made. And if nothing else, if no one else tells you, I love you, we love you. We appreciate you all. Hit the like, subscribe button. Peace.
Like that, you know, that's a fact. I'm not gonna argue with any of that. LB, talk to us, man. Take us out, dog.
Right.
Wait.
Double shot, Rich. Come on.
No, it's not a double shot because I actually wasn't on mute. I just wanted.
Oh, that's wild. He wasn't even on mute. Hey, yo. All right, your world, dog. Your world.
hey, for real. Yes, that's the message, yo. Love each other for real. Love each other. That's the message all the time, every time. Love each other. Listen, and love on yourself. And I mean that, like, love on yourself. Like, spend time, like, get to know yourself. Really, like Valentine's Day, all of that is woo. But if you don't know yourself, get to know yourself. Love yourself. Love on yourself. If you don't have someone, it starts with you. Start loving yourself. Find out your wants, your needs, your desires, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then you can come to the table knowing yourself to give more to your spouse, your potential spouse, things of that nature. And hey, you got mom, dad, sisters, brothers, love on them, love on family members, everybody, just spread love. We all about spreading love. But let's be real. We all want to get to March because that's steak and BJ Day. All right. No, listen. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Come back.
I just had to, nope, we just go end it. Nope. We're not doing that. Yes, we are doing that. Shout out to Valentine's Day. Shout out to March, man. February is all good, man. I got 2 birthdays. My mom and my youngest daughter, man, all celebrating in February. So that's what's up. We're going to holler at y'all all the way through. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all again so much for just being part of our team and our group, man. Y'all are the best part of Up to It, Down to It, man. We love interacting with y'all. Love on yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Get into your word, man. Things are getting real crazy out here. It's not just me. I'm not the crazy one, okay? I'm not really the crazy one. I'm not, okay? Get yourself into the game, man. Get yourself into the word. I'm just saying. Look, man, thank you again for tuning in. Thank all of y'all for tuning in, man. We are out of here, dog. We dancing out.
Peace.
Tune in next week. We love y'all, man. You can run, but you can't hide. We out.
Buy a rose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy her one. Get her one.